Get the other way.
Hopefully, you can stay on shows. Welcome. This is Comic Book Club Excalibur issue 71. We are finishing the Fatal Attraction series today, and D was the last person to pick a book, so we are going to start with Mr. D. Runk.
Yeah, I was real lucky to have the last book of the series. I didn't know it would pan out like that, but um, yeah, I read it on Marvel Unlimited.
Yeah.
So there's like the full cover without the hologram. I'm pretty sure, Alan, you got the 9/8, don't you?
Yep. Yeah, I do.
Okay, so we'll get to see the hologram when you're up, but that's the full splash cover there. Hey, so this story really just starts with the acolytes fighting with Nightcrawler, and they're doing the whole like, "Hey, I'm right, you're right, I'm wrong, you're wrong" spiel. It's just kind of like an intro to get us into the book, and then all of a sudden, Xavier and Jean show up, and Cyclops, and their goal is to uh, rescue Colossus because they've assumed that he joined the Acolytes, Magneto's squad, because he has a head injury. So they need Kitty Pryde to help facilitate that. And of course, like right off the bat, she's like, "No, I'm not going to lie to Colossus. I love Colossus. He's got a big metal dick. Can't do it." And then eventually they talk her into it, and right away Colossus is like, "I'm down." You know, she's the only one that can take my big metal dick. But right away, Exodus and all his flunkies they don't trust in it at all. But Colossus has to do it. He needs to find out. Um, from there, it's just a bunch of jabbering about, uh, "Hey, is this a good idea? I'm sure it's not. You're acting like a kid. Fuck you. Have you ever had a metal dick before?" It's a lot about metal dicks. Um, and then Cable pops in. He's all healed up from his little bout with
They
Magneto, and
didn't
he wants.
explain why he's healed up, by the way.
Well, I think it's mainly because like the shit that got torn up is all metal, so they just needed to reassemble the metal. It's not like Wolverine where like they ripped something out of his body. Like a lot of uh, Cable's body is just metal to begin with, so
Mm-hmm.
they just needed to put it back together. So, but yes, they did skip over the fact that he got healed, and now he just looks like nothing ever happened. Um, this is kind of a cool scene. Cyclops and Nightcrawler talking. Nightcrawler is the leader of Excalibur, and Nightcrawler is kind of giving you a little rundown of like the fact that his team is like gone. And Cyclops is like, "It's all right, mate. It's just how they write the books." And here you got Rachel Summers, who goes by Phoenix. She's a Cyclops and Jean's kid from another timeline. And
And Cable is
basically,
also their son too, right? So
yes.
Yeah.
So Jean comes out and she's like, "Hey, sorry that your life sucks." And just as they're about to like get into some like deeply emotional shit, Xavier comes in and is like, "Hey, have you two ever thought about making out?" And so here's Kitty Pryde waiting for Colossus. He doesn't know he's about to be ambushed, and here they start talking philosophy, and you got Colossus here. He's about to fight that Rachel Summers Phoenix chick, and then right here is where Colossus realizes that Kitty was not ever actually going to go back to with him. That's why he came down, because she called and said, "Hey, can I come crash at your place?"
Yeah, honey dick.
Yeah, and then but then they trapped him,
Right.
and they got them all secured, and you got Rachel Summers and Cable are still fighting in the background. And eventually, they get Colossus really tied down good. They start using Cyclops' beam to get into his head wound and fix that. Um, long story short of this fight, uh, Rachel eventually just beats the shit out of him.
Glass.
And then, got Nightcrawler. He's fighting the Acolytes because they just showed up. Nothing. You got to make it look like there's a ticking clock, so they're working on that. That is a really ugly looking Xavier right there. The art is not that bad in this book. It's not great either, but that panel right there was fucking distracting itself.
I don't remember him giving a big speech in this one.
He got a little preachy, but yeah, it was
he didn't.
Mainly other characters.
Not too bad.
So they got Colossus to drop his metal exterior so they could fully fix his wound.
Yeah. I am I the only one that found that odd? Is that normal?
What?
He just drops his metal whenever. I mean, oh no, that is normal. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, that's his power. He's not always metal. But he dropped it for them so that they could fix him. Okay. They're still fighting the Acolytes here. Now, this is the spot where Colossus comes out. He's healed. Like they fixed his brain injury. Because in comic books they can fix a brain injury real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And
I wish that
he's
was
like, he's like, hey, no shit, dude. Like, and they're like, he's like, hey, I'm healed up, and I'm still with the Acolytes, bitches. Hey, hey, thanks, Xavier. And then okay, got ya. No more metal dick for you, and he fucking leaves. And yeah, dude, they start talking about they're gonna do a new Excalibur team. They're gonna do different shit.
A new team.
Yeah, and that's really the end of the issue. Like, and to summarize it, they made us aware of a head injury that Colossus has that we didn't know he had.
We never heard of before.
Yeah,
might have happened in an earlier issue.
They show where it happened, but there's nothing telling you that is lingering up until this. So this is where they tell you that, hey, this head injury may have been why he joined the Acolytes. And then they spend all episode trying to fix it. Yeah. They spend all the whole issue trying to fix it. They fix it, and then he still stays with the Acolytes. So it was a really, in my opinion...
Well, he's going back with a different attitude, though. He's like, I can maybe convert them to being... Yeah,
he's
going back with a purpose of trying to convert them, I think.
Yeah, no, not just convert, but like, hey, like instead of murdering a hospice facility, let's protest out in front of it, type of thing. But no, it to me, this whole issue was very, very pointless. They created an issue that we didn't know was there. They fixed the issue, and it didn't solve the overlaying issue that they were trying to fix. To me, the art wasn't that great. The story was too long, and you just didn't care about it. So, hey, I'll go with the cover first. I still like these hologram covers, so I'll give the cover a 2.5. The interior art, I'm going to give it a 2. It wasn't bad, but there's nothing in there where I was like, whoa, that was cool. So there's a couple bad panels here and there, but for the most part, like it did its job. It told the story. The story itself, I'm going to give that a 1. I didn't enjoy the story. I thought it was very unnecessary. They had to put Excalibur in there because they wanted all the X titles to be a part of the series.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought they did a poor job of telling us why Excalibur even had to be a part of the end.
I would agree with that point. Oh my God. I was reading it saying like what the main event is already over. What the hell is the point of this book?
This is 2 books after the main event too, by the way.
Yeah. So the main event was X-Men 25. I liked Wolverine number 75 telling his story about how he's starting. Yeah.
It felt like the wrap-up. This felt like the annex or whatever, the appendix.
Yeah.
This kind of reminded me of Lord of the Rings, where they have like the 20 endings at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like one of those endings that you didn't want or need.
Yeah. So my overall score, I'm going to give it a 1.5.
Yeah. What was your one before that score?
Oh, the story was a 1.
Okay.
And then my overall was a 1.5.
All right.
So D's favorite comic ever is this one, is what he said.
Yes.
I hope we get. I hope this ends up being the worst ever, but I'm not.
It's got a pretty good chance.
Yeah. All right. Let's give. I don't want to go next. I want. It's either Matt or Alan. I'll just go with Alan. I'll try to remember to have Matt do it next time. But
Okay.
there you go.
So I actually, I felt like this was like the book that we didn't need or didn't ask for, and
Yes.
I felt like it was like one of those situations where, the whole time, the whole premise is that they're going to fix Colossus, but I didn't think Colossus was broken, and I thought his reasons for joining the Acolytes was legitimate for himself. They actually did a really good job when they explained why he joined the Acolytes, And this was like, oh, it's just a brain injury. It's like, it sort of minimized everything that they had set up in a previous comic, which kind of bothered me the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
They used Kitty Pryde to basically lure him in and then do brain surgery to basically to change his mind. Like, that's what you do. If people like have a justified reason for doing something, then you got to do brain surgery on them and change their mind. I thought that was a little bit extreme. And I didn't get why Cable was there attacking. I didn't get that at all. It didn't make any sense. Like, I understood why the Acolytes came and they were fighting. That made sense. But Cable, what the heck? Why is Cable coming there?
Yeah, I didn't understand why he fought Phoenix either.
Yeah,
I think they were trying to set up a future storyline between Rachel Summers and
sister. Like,
yeah.
I mean, they're both. I guess they'd be brother and sister, but it's kind of a. And they kind of felt that connection, but it was like a really weird one. It was just
it was very tacked on.
And even the way that they did the fight didn't make sense. Like, there's a point where she's in his arms and acting like she's just been beaten up by him, even though the previous scene didn't imply that was going to be happening.
Yeah, what's this all about too, by the way? Hold on. Let me interject for a second. So there's this panel where she gets like this weird blue and white suit on her. What the fuck is that?
I didn't get that either.
I don't understand.
She got very patriotic at that moment.
Is she able to manipulate her body, or
I think what they were saying, and let me see if I actually got the point of how that happened, was that she could switch between the different time things, and maybe that's an alternate version of her that she had sort of slipped between.
Oh,
and she also is imbued with the Phoenix Force, so.
Yeah, that's the other point.
There's a lot of matter manipulation, reality warping that comes with that.
Yeah. So, man. Okay. The only thing I really liked about this book, to tell you the truth, I actually liked the cover. The way the Phoenix is pretty sexy. And I like the wraparound covers. So these gimmicky covers get me every time when it's wraparound and has a cool hologram on it. Mm-hmm. And the cool hologram is what? Which one is it? It's
probably
Nightcrawler.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Alan died.
We're in the middle of a sort of a snowstorm at the moment here, so sometimes the Wi-Fi goes wonky.
I want to continue on what Alan was saying. I think those are the best hologram covers of all the comics.
Did you?
Oh, there's Alan.
Did you? No,
you booted yourself.
Hologram?
No, I didn't.
Sort of disappeared. That was really
weird.
Okay, so yeah, so So I give the cover, like, if it was just like in the wraparound, I would give it a 3. But because
Okay.
of the hologram card, I give it a 3.5. So I actually like the cover a lot.
Sweet.
Now the interior art, I really hated. I
Okay.
really hated the interior art, especially the way that they drew Xavier. They
Yeah.
made him like whenever they try to show his mind powers, they drew him like with these weird lines coming out of his face the
Yeah.
whole time. And it was like he was pink. I don't know why. I really didn't like that. It really bothered me the whole time. So I'm going to give the interior art like a 1.5.
Okay. Let's go.
I didn't really like the interior art. I felt like the story was a bit convoluted, and at least it read quickly. That was one nice thing about it. It wasn't like a long read, but it was like not an interesting read, and I don't really empathize with any of the characters. I didn't really feel like there was any character development. And the one time that they tried to have some character development was the scene with Phoenix and her mom, and that was even cut off. They couldn't have that character development, so it's like, okay.
Xavier popped in and asked them to make out. It was fucking weird.
Yeah, it was pretty weird. So he didn't ask them to make out, though.
Considering that he's always had a crush on Jean himself, it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, you never know. So yeah, that whole scene was kind of weird. So I don't know. It's just like so many missed opportunities, and it was just like, and like people fighting for no reason, and then Colossus, there was just like so many things that didn't really make sense. So poor writing. I think I give the writing a 1 as well. I think that's what D gave it. I think that's a good, accurate assessment of it. And then overall, because of the cover, I give it a 2.
Okay.
So the cover pulls it up, but not by much.
That was a good job there, Alan. I think you nailed it. Let's go, Matt.
Okay. I do not like the fact that, like, this series, I've never been a big Xavier fan in the comics, and this storyline did not help. In fact, this particular issue, I wanted to go through and smack him because of the way he was acting. It's like, I'm going to manipulate everybody to get what I want. I want Colossus back. Therefore, I'm going to go tell Kitty to play with his emotions.
That's a good point, Matt. He's a very selfish fucking guy, ain't he?
Oh my God. Like,
yes.
His body could tell, like his mind powers could tell that they were having a moment, Phoenix and the daughter.
He's like, if I better not let them bond too much because he'll take my gene away. I better split them up. That's
exactly. Yeah, among other things. And I did not like the fact that Kitty Pryde would go along with that. That I know she really likes him, loves him, whatever it is. And it bothered me that she was willing to go along with Xavier's plan. And
they all fanboyed when they showed up too. When Professor X, Jean, and Cyclops, they're all like, "Oh well, when they come knocking, you gotta do what the fuck they say," you know.
Yeah.
Hey, I will say that Xavier did manipulate her though into thinking she was doing what was in his best interest.
I know, and so, honestly, it was what was in Xavier's best interest. So I didn't like him for that, but. Let's take it piece by piece here. Okay. The cover. I agree with Alan. The cover is a 2.5 because of the hologram and the thing out. And I do have a question. Was it the same artist that did the interior that did the cover?
Alan could answer that by looking at the label.
The label says Joe Madureira.
Whatever. Sounds good.
Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say, right? So we'll pretend that you understood me.
I have no idea.
That's the guy that did the cover. And the interior art is Derek Robinson and Ken Lashley.
Okay, that's a little familiar.
Then I will say that Derek Robinson is the worst artist I've ever seen.
Yes.
Not the worst.
The only thing that he drew in that book that I liked was the butts on the girls. Everything else was terrible. I mean, especially Xavier's face. But I mean, I found that you got one panel where and it made me laugh so much that I wanted to make sure I remembered to say this. One panel where Jean has a mouth like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wish you would have
And
pulled
that
that up so we could see it. That's
That
funny.
was terrible, terrible, terrible. The interior art, I give it a 0.5.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Okay, wow. This
Get
is
'em,
definitely
Matt.
not going to be one of the top books. I can tell
Get
you.
And
'em.
the writing was just as confusing and bad. Certain parts of the book made sense. Okay, the
Mhm.
Colossus part made sense. The rest of it was absolute trite filler.
Mm.
Literally, oh, we've got to fill 40 pages or whatever. So let's do this. And I agree with you on the Lord of the Rings analogy.
Mhm.
This was, we already had the scouring of the Shire. We didn't need the part where he says, "My friends, you kneel to nobody." That was a waste of time. That was what this book was. That terrible, terrible scene.
Mm.
Okay. So again, I'm going to give the writing a 1 because it wasn't as bad as the art. But overall, the book gets a 1.5 because the cover brings it up slightly.
That's what I did. Yeah.
But honest to God, that had to be and you know me, I love just about every comic. But when it came to the art, that had to be the one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. I could draw better than that guy and I can't draw.
I like it.
Very well done. I have no disagreements with that. So I had to read this on a different site because Zip wasn't working, so I wasn't able to zoom in. So it was really hard for me to read some of the small print. But I got through it. I probably could have done something, used a tablet or something. This guy looks a lot like Farrell. I know he's an acolyte, but he's not Farrell.
That's Spore.
Spore. Got it. Okay. So he looks a lot like a team member. So I thought that was interesting, but it's
He is
not.
an acolyte, by the way.
Yeah, this guy's an acolyte, right?
Yeah.
Melody's really showing her ass tonight. She knows I'm streaming,
Yeah.
so she got extra loud. So I like this little panel right here. It's okay. It's not too bad. But they fuck it up immediately with the shitty Professor X panel right under it.
As I said, I feel like they didn't like Professor X in this. He always looked horrible.
He looks like he's ready to, I don't know if he's constipated or if he's angry with everything that's ever been, like he just looks so unnatural.
Yeah.
Kitty, I'm just kind of looking at the art right now. Melody, stop screaming.
Look at that face. That looks like it was somebody got a D on his art project.
I thought it melted. It looked like her face melted.
Yeah.
I was confused by that.
It was terrible.
I kind of like Colossus's outfit. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, they drew Colossus pretty well. I'm not
Actually
gonna hate
all
on.
the panels with Colossus, especially when he turned human, were done really well. I thought.
Yeah.
He looked when he was normal, I thought they did him really well. I just thought I just felt like Xavier was such a distraction. That was my complaint.
Yeah. It feels like every time you go to a new series with this storyline, it was just like an introduction to it. This is Excalibur 71. If they ain't in Excalibur by now, they're not going to jump. I mean, maybe a few people, but.
Well, I felt like that's what they were trying to do here. Like they were trying to bring over the fanship to this title that nobody likes.
It's like they do with DC, where, oh my God, Aquaman isn't selling. Let's do a Batman team up.
Yeah, exactly.
So it looks like the art shifts dramatically. Like you got a Nightcrawler that looks like this, right? and then
Oh.
he looks
And
like
that's
The
another
art was
thing.
all over the place.
Nightcrawler looked almost human, and he's supposed to look like a demon, right?
well, he looks
Well,
demonic in the other panels when I get
Yeah,
to
he's
him.
got a panel later on where he's fighting the acolytes. He looks completely different. I know exactly what Biggie's talking about.
Yeah, and here we go. Like, what in the fuck happened?
Yeah.
Dude, that picture of him smiling with the bottom right hand, like that is just wild.
Yeah, that is not the panel we just saw with.
You remind there's a character in anime that he reminds me of, and I'm just trying to remember who it is, but it was like the whole time it was like
Tentacle
this-
Man.
Yeah, it's like
I was glad to see Cable come back. I was kind of cool seeing Phoenix and Jean talk. And
by the way, even when they did the fights, you really didn't get a sense of their powers or how the fight was going. It was just sort of a
Yeah, no, it was.
it was like a blip.
The fights felt like they were blowing steam. They weren't fighting for any particular reason.
Yeah, that too. Oh, it's like it's like so annoying.
I mean,
so the whole time they're doing the brain thing, all Colossus is saying is, I couldn't help her. I couldn't make it. He was still stuck on, the magic stuff. He's just like,
Yeah, of
I had
course.
to be there, And I don't think that it was, I don't think he had a traumatic brain surgery. I think he's depressed because his fucking friend died or where the fuck.
That's what I was
sister.
thinking. Like,
That's all it was. That's
yeah,
it.
I mean,
It
they
stayed that way.
explained it well in the other book.
Say they nuked his fucking brain, and he's still like, I care, I still care. It's like, you guys ain't fixed nothing.
well, he didn't at least he didn't turn his brain to metal, so they needed a blowtorch.
Look at that ugly ass Nightcrawler. That makes me almost not want to have my GSX.
It's why I said the art is just so inconsistent and horrible.
Mm.
It is bad.
It's terrible. Ugh.
And then they finish off the book with like halfway decent shit. Like, that's okay, and then they have
Well, you
another
can tell,
panel.
like, make a splash page now.
Yeah, that like they finished the last thing as almost decent art. Like, it ain't the best. It's still that's the best the book had to offer, though. Really.
Yeah.
All right.
And
man.
weren't 4 of those X-Men and only 2 members of Excalibur?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
had
So
more extra
it was
guys.
basically, we're the X-Men, and here's these extra, 2 people.
Yeah, has nothing to do. Here's Nightcrawler's friends from X-Men, pretty much.
Yeah, basically.
Goodness gracious. All right, so the cover. Okay, is that supposed to be Colossus with the big V thing right there?
Yes.
Yeah, that's his costume.
Holy shit!
It doesn't look like Colossus, actually.
No, it looks like
It is
Muscle Man or
Colossus, but
something.
doesn't really look like him.
I'm gonna look at this cover real. The Jean looks okay. Colossus looks way over animated. And Kitty her hair looks awesome. And Phoenix looks like shit, in my opinion. Like,
I like the way Phoenix looks,
look how dead she looks in her face, though.
but
She
I
looks
always
like the
thought when
Shield.
she goes Phoenix form, she's more of a pan.
No, but the way she's drawn on the cover, she looks more like a Shi'ar, like that Lilandra woman there, than anything, at least facially.
I think this might be the weakest of all the hologram covers.
I actually liked it the most.
You liked it the most?
This or the Magneto one. The Magneto one was pretty awesome.
I'm gonna give it a 1. I'll give it a 2. I don't think I should, but I'll give it a 2. Just because I trust y'all. All right. Inside art. Fuck that shit, dog. You get a 1 from me. Story. 0.5. This is exactly how you fuck up a comic book series. Someone reading Excalibur would have read that. They should have killed their fucking pool at that point. They should be like, I don't want this shit no more. It gets a 0.5 from me. And
what
then
I didn't
overall,
understand is why didn't they build up the series in the first 5 books and then have like the conclusion being like something dramatic at the end? Like in this book, that would have made more sense than finishing the story really in the 4th book.
it just feels they just hoard out a decent storyline to get maybe a few more cells on a shitty series, and it's disgusting to me. So
This issue would have, and I don't need there to be a happy ending, okay? But this issue would have made more sense if they could have actually rescued Colossus.
Yeah,
And he came back to the fold.
So it got
But-
0.5 from
they
me on
actually
the roll.
created an opening at the end of the fourth one where he said that he's just going to stay with Magneto to help fix him, right?
Yeah.
You know, and that he's actually not like he even helped them like get past the defenses.
Yeah.
Exactly. I remember
So
that.
did they really need to fix him? Not really. I mean, he was kind of working for them anyways. Yeah, I mean,
But I mean, like,
was totally not
there
necessary.
were other ways. What my biggest problem about this was Xavier went right to the girl, you know, hit him in the heart where he gets his, as you'd say, medal. You know, his girlfriend or his ex-girlfriend, the one he loves, just go and hurt him. Go and, you know, use him and manipulate him.
Yeah.
It could have been like he could have just gone and made his own pitch, or
But
Phoenix
it wasn't necessary.
Jean could have gone in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because Xavier, I can see him screwing that up. But
I can't get my. There it goes. I was going up. Okay. 20.5. We got a 24.5 here going.
And what did you give the overall?
0.5.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
You're the meanest on this one, Biggie.
This was trash. 24.5. It wasn't even trying to. It was like, I hope everybody that did that comic book got fired, honestly. There's no excuse.
Well, I preemptively put it in the last position. Let's see if it stays.
I think it will be based on.
Yes. Okay. So
Hey, now in my defense, I did try and save us from having to read this.
That's true.
I want that to be noted and filed.
Brad's with
Yeah,
me.
this is
Definitely
not-
the worst
we
cover.
shouldn't-
Oh yeah, this is without a doubt the question. By 13%, it is
Wow.
the worst book ever. At 30.6%.
This is not a knock on D though. It's like
No, I did not want this
he
book.
disavows this comic.
Yeah, I was going to go with JLA Avengers #1.
Oh,
Is what I was going to go with.
That would be a cool one, actually.
So now we get to talk about the book for a minute, and then later on, after Alan shows us his book, we're going to talk about the next club coming up, a December to Remember, and kind of set that up, kind of give you guys an idea what's going on. So we'll talk about the book for a moment. I think we did a little bit. I didn't look into who did the art. I didn't look into who wrote it. I'm
not familiar with any of the artists, to tell you the truth.
Well, Lashley, I've heard of him, the Lashley guy. But I don't know how much of it he did. Excalibur's never been one of my favorites. I don't read a lot of Excalibur. I don't know. There was no good saving grace here besides, I mean, even when Jean met fucking Phoenix, that was a letdown because she met her mom and she's just like, okay, love you, mom. That's it. It's like, it was fucking horrible. Every little turn you took was horrible.
Yeah, well, they had Xavier interrupt it. Like it was very. There was a lot of weak missed opportunities. So
they never let anything build.
No, there's that.
Like, you know, the thing I felt like every scene was rushed and then kind of cobbled together as well. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like,
there was there's nothing to build on off of any of this. It was like they just mishmashed a bunch of shit together and got even worse stale shit. And to top it all off, it kind of shit on a decent storyline. Like you fucked up a good thing going just to whore yourself out. Like I said earlier, that's why I was disgusted and I gave it shitty score.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that, actually. Another thing that bothered me right off the bat was they brought up again the hospice thing. I was like, man.
Yeah, like
that's sort of like the Metachlorians. I feel like they almost have to just sort of, we'll just ignore that we ever mentioned that in the first. But in this one, they brought up the thing that they shouldn't have mentioned because they should have just moved on. It was like,
well, I would say, to be fair, like I thought that was a weird way to show how evil they are.
Yeah,
because it makes them. Because everyone knows that the best villains are ones you can understand and relate to. You can't relate to pure evil of killing hospice patients. That doesn't work. But because it did happen, I think it's important that they not let it slide and act like it didn't happen. Like if they did that, you got to still call them out for doing it.
Maybe.
And I also think it.
Yeah, it's
But
like
that's where they needed to do better with explaining why they were the bad guys without doing that.
I
The
enjoyed the
fact that
first
they
book.
mhm.
It's way better than the
I
last.
mean,
the fact that they did the hospice thing was a detriment to the series, and it makes Colossus look weak. Like, why would Colossus join that team?
Yeah.
You know, like I don't care how much you think you can influence them. Like, if you're
Mhm.
that much of a fucking shitbag, I'm not going to fucking hang out
Well,
with you.
his reason why was because whenever Professor X, once again, he came to fucking Colossus, he gave Colossus this rose collared fucking future, saying we're building on the future of mutants, this and that, and he said, you did not give me what you said you would give me. I don't believe in you. I'm going to fucking Magneto. So I understand why Colossus left.
Yeah, in a way, this book kind of makes me think, oh, I can understand why people would leave the X-Men team, because Xavier's a bit of a jerk.
He really
Yeah.
is.
And he's just using people.
Yeah.
he really does.
Yeah.
He is more narcissistic than any other member of the team, and I feel like he and Magneto are actually have more in common than
Yeah.
they want to admit.
That's what I was thinking the whole time there. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, and
They
that's
just use
where
others
like
for their own goals.
a lot of leaders usually are self-serving, and that the best leaders try to elevate everyone that is with them. But he is very driven on his own goal in reality, and he doesn't care if he has to hurt people that he loves to make his dream happen.
So
Now
okay.
his dream is beautiful, a peaceful world. Like that. That's a
Yeah.
good goal to get to. But what is that saying?
The road
Road
to
to
hell is
hell is
paved
paved
with good
with
intentions.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where he's at.
He's also very controlling.
So the thing is, like, when I read the X-Men series from the Silver Age, like I sort of read it in kind of a one-shot kind of way. Like Xavier in that is very
Better.
different than this one.
Okay.
He's more of a like a mentor to the X-Men.
Okay.
In this, he's like the abusive
Dictator.
father.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Like, I'll do whatever it takes to get my kids to stay in line. I don't know.
Well, Silver Age Xavier did also state that he was in love with teenage Jean Grey. So
Yes.
Well, but everybody was, so that's okay.
no, but he was a grown ass adult.
Actually,
Yeah, Chris Hansen should have been paying his ass a fucking visit.
Okay.
What were you gonna say, Matt?
I don't remember the Beast ever saying he was in love with Jean. The other two, yes, Iceman and Angel, but not the Beast. But I could be wrong. I mean,
But how old was Jean Grey in the original? I don't think she was. I think she was like teen, but not like underage teen.
She was underage. They were in high school. Like
yeah,
we're talking like 15, 16.
Wasn't she called Marvel Girl in the beginning?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Not Marvel Woman.
Marvel Girl, yeah.
But they always call it women girls. That was
not always Wonder Woman.
Okay,
All
that's
right.
true.
Well, we are at the point of the show. Alan has the next choice for the next book. What are you gonna bless us with?
Okay, so I'm trying to get you guys to like some Golden Age books. I figure let's do one that you guys will like it or not. We're gonna do Captain America #1.
All right.
I don't have a copy of it to show, so but
Dude, I've got 4 of them. I'll send you each one of them.
Captain America 1.
Captain
Okay,
America
that'd be good.
1.
Okay, just send me.
You know what?
Send me the high grade copy.
Volume 1, right?
You know, I bet
Yes.
Doc might join us for this.
Yeah, if we could
I'm
get
on-
Doc and then he could show it as well. that'd
Yeah,
be
I'll
awesome.
let him know because he said like once he wanted to come on and show a book we were doing. So I'll tell him maybe he'll join us. But that's a great pick, Alan. Thank you. So
So
to
I haven't
anybody in the
actually
chat,
read it myself, so this is new to me too.
okay. I think I read it and I got it all figured out.
I
But
read it on a reprint, obviously, years
Yeah.
and years ago, but I don't remember much about it.
it's pretty basic. It's
Okay.
I could tell you what happened in it now, but we'll wait.
Yeah. Don't spoil.
Yeah. So Darth
Yeah,
asked if he could.
don't spoil that book that is 90 years old or
No,
80
right.
years
Yeah.
old.
Yeah, please.
Surprise
Dar-
ending for anyone that hasn't been.
Darth asked in the chat earlier if he could pick a book for us to do, and I said you could pick a book, but you got to come on and you got to read the books we do, and you got to wait in line. It's like we do, you know. So if anybody in the chat ever wants to join the book club and do a book they want to do, you just got to join us, read the books we do, and then you get your turn. That's how we do it. So, December to remember. So there's two main events, right? It's going to be me versus Boston Chris, and then it's going to be Bobby Delgado versus Tony. You remember Tony from The Hunt, right, Alan?
Yeah, of course. I know Tony.
Okay. So we're going to do it like a Iron Collector, and whoever wins out of mine and Chris's match, and whoever wins out Tony and Bobby's match are going to meet. It'll be either me and Tony or Chris and Bobby or however. But after that, the winner is going to face, since I've been picked and Bleeker's been picked. I think that this time it's definitely going to be Alan's turn.
Okay, that somebody has to pick me.
Whoever wins out of everything, it's going to be you. I'm not trying to cut Matt out, but maybe if we have an NWO versus Hunt thing, we can have Matt and D battle too. But I need y'all to be there just for support because they might bring more Hunt people. It could be a Hunt versus Club thing.
Okay, that'd be actually a nice crossover episode.
Yeah, we might end up going on their channel if this ends up working out.
Well, as far as I know, I'm free on Friday.
Good.
Hey, this is the Fatal Attractions Wolverine Funko Pop.
Oh, let's make it big. This is the
Very
end
cool.
of Fatal Attractions.
It's got the
Is that
metal
where the
coming out.
adamantium's coming out of him?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I could see that in the legs and stuff. Yeah, that's pretty.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to
And the
see because
chest.
his head is casting a shadow, but yeah.
That's insane.
It's kind of weird that the adamantium didn't come out of his skull.
Yeah.
That would have been more gruesome, I think. His head's all like.
Yeah.
Split his whole face apart. Yeah.
Because if you think about it, there would be the most of it in his skull, right? Like his whole jaw.
Yeah.
And
It's been the
everything.
biggest blotch of metal to come out. So anybody got any books they want to show before we go? Talk about the show.
I got a book coming tomorrow, but yeah, it's that's tomorrow.
I'd
got
like
a huge
to
unboxing that I have to do.
You
I'd
can
like
show
to
some
show
books if you
books,
want.
but the mail's still not coming.
Oh, Mel, Alan don't have that problem. He gets a bunch of different types of mail.
So somebody sent me like an AOK that was like 3
let's
big
check
boxes.
it out.
Like I didn't open it yet.
Yeah, pop her open. Let's see some books.
Well, no, I'm not gonna pop them open, but
Oh.
this size box, 3 of these size boxes came in the mail today.
Oh.
And but I have no idea what's inside of it, and I was annoyed because I had to pay like $120 for customs.
Damn.
Yeah, it's kind of brutal.
I'll show.
Hopefully the AOK is worth it.
Hopefully it's good stuff. I have no idea what it is.
Yeah, usually AOKs don't.
But it was a present, and then I have to pay like crazy.
Bobby De La Ghetto was going, open it.
Yeah, I know. I'll do a special unboxing for it. It'll probably be a multiple part.
Do you know who it came from?
Yeah, it was from one of the people that watches my channel, Matthew Miller.
Oh, nice. So I got this book. Pretty cool.
Very nice.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I got a nice little Bronze Age collection going, so I thought that'd be a good one.
Well, you guys freezing?
A little bit.
Wait, what was? I didn't even see it. It sort of.
Oh, you didn't get to see it?
froze on me.
It was just
It's this bad boy.
Oh yes, yes, yes. I remember you saying you got that. What grade is it?
6.5. I got a decent copy.
Is it restored?
Nah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a really nice copy.
Yeah. And I got this one before that, but we've already seen that one.
Oh, that's
Pretty
interesting.
decent grade.
Personally, I like that book better. I like Widow better. I don't know.
I love
but
Black Widow. Yeah.
I love both of those books. Awesome books.
Yeah.
I like that the original Black Widow. She is like a widow. Like she's dressed like a widow, and it's like so funny.
So it says it's a Jack Kirby cover, but it looks a lot like Don Heck to me. But what do I know?
Um,
All right. Well, I guess we'll get out of here.
It has sort of a Kirby feel to it. Like his figures are all. He always makes those little people.
Yeah, it kind of has like a Captain America 100 vibe with the little figure things, but I don't know how to explain it. But. So, what's going on in your channel, Matt?
Well, I've got a couple of new videos coming up this week. I had Hagen on last week, and you're my guest next week on my live show. Wow. And we are only, as of just before this, we are only 16 people away from hitting our goal for our giveaway. Wow. 381 is the goal, and we were at 365 when I last looked.
Nice.
So,
why the 381? What was this?
Because that's the number of the adventure comics that Supergirl first had her full.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we have a topic for the show I'm on? Crack cocaine.
I think it's just gonna be like he plays like a trivia game and like shows 5 comics and stuff.
Yeah,
like that,
shows like I'll explain to you later what we do.
Okay, yeah, no problem. How about you, Alan? What you doing on your channel, bub?
Same old. I'm going to be doing a cover challenge on Friday with redheads. So if you want to show redheaded comics, 10 of them for the challenge, that's what that video is. And then I do my hangout Friday evening, and then are
you going to the show on Sunday?
Saturday? But I forgot what it was.
Are you going to go to the show on Sunday?
I might go to the show on Sunday. It depends on my family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm definitely going to go. I just don't know what time or how long yet.
Alan, for the redhead show, you need to.
So I might go. I'm still trying to pawn my.
Hello.
What are you pawning?
Am I lagging? I think I'm lagging.
You said you're going to pawn something. I didn't hear the last part. I was going to
pawn my Silver Surfer 1.
Okay.
I was going to pawn
what you said.
At the show, you mean?
To try to get some money so that I can buy something. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
And you could check me and D out over here. D usually pops on my channel and stuff like that. But
yeah.
I think we're going to ride on out of here, man. That was a successful book club, the lowest scoring book ever. Catch us in a couple days on a December to remember. I don't know exactly how the card's going to work out, but I think I got to figure it out. You know, shit could change, but we will see. I will catch y'all. Captain America 1 next time. See y'all later.
That's right. Bobby